to the Mind of Basketball podcast, aka the M.O.B podcast. I'm Evan.
And I'm John.
And this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games from the previous day. How is it Saturday afternoon, Josh? The start of the weekend?
It's feeling cool. It's cool. Just a chill vibe like always.
That's chill vibe. That's good. I'm good as well. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone will have a good day and a good weekend. Much to discuss around the league that happened last night. So there are a lot of embarrassing performances, but let's talk about the one that everybody saw, which was the battle up in California between the Warriors and the Clippers. And basically, let me give you an overview of how this game went.
Mm-hmm.
The Clippers had gotten to a early lead and was able to basically keep that lead and extend that lead up until about 3:40 in the third quarter when they were up 22 against the Warriors. And then, led by Stephen Curry, the Warriors just took off. Then, like the next 3 minutes, the Clippers were held to 2 points, and the Warriors came all the way back to take the lead.
Yeah.
And the Clippers kept fighting, and they was able to basically tie the game and keep the game close late in the fourth quarter or midway through the fourth quarter. But then the Warriors just took that and ran with it and was able to win off of an amazing performance by Curry and a great comeback by the Warriors against this Clippers team. So let me get your thoughts on this game, Ja.
Well, there's not really much. I think you just said it all right there. The Clippers looked like it was their game for the taking. And then all up until that fourth quarter specifically, it just looked like the Warriors just gained some kind of momentum. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just had momentum going into it. And you said the man's name, Stephen Curry. Again, this team is fueled off of Stephen Curry's will and ability.
Yes.
And
Yes,
when you're able, and when he has it going and when he has a fire, and especially when he starts hitting threes and then celebrating and stuff, like, you know, the team feels that energy and they take with that and they just go far with it. And as a result, they all end up balling. Andrew Wiggins was coming a big down stretch. Like, you know, the team was just playing so well, playing defensively, like, you know, picking and choosing their spots so well. It's just like, you know, and like, you know, it's just like this is what they have been doing as of recently. Like, you know, they've been just like, you know, taking a while in order to get back into the game. And the moment they do it, they're able to either make the game close or take the win. So
yeah, I mean, it feels like once Stephen Curry hits his threes or catches fire, then the Warriors, it's just like a virus. It just spreads.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have used that terminology in this time period, but it does catch on to the team, and they catch fire and they hit threes. As you said, Andrew Wiggins came up really big in this game, and he had a really good game. Eric Pascal also had a really good game, and the bench played well for the Warriors, helping them while Curry had left the game in the start of the fourth. If you didn't notice, yeah, Curry wasn't in that game at the the top of the fourth. And this bench unit was still playing good and was still maintaining their lead and competing.
Yeah.
And I think that's just due to how that momentum was. And the momentum has swung from the Clippers to the Warriors. So yeah, this is just a great performance by the Warriors. As for the Clippers, I mean, geez, you just want to give something. I respect the Clippers because they are a giving team.
Yeah.
And they just give all of us, content just to laugh about them. Being in LA, with the Lakers, that's already enough. But then you add on their franchise history, all their disappointing losses, not being to the conference finals ever, just the conference finals, conference finals.
Exactly.
The 51-point loss that happened this year. Now, I mean, they are a giving team, but it's not Christmas. Yeah. So I don't know what this is about. I mean, I respect, their selflessness, but I mean, damn.
Let's just be honest. The Lakers just gave them bad luck. They you can't just bring a team into Los. Well, this happened way back before we were even born, obviously, right?
Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, but
I mean, Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah,
I mean
Buffalo Braves.
not Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Braves. Sorry.
Buffalo Braves. We both messed up on it, but yeah.
Um, but you can't just bring a team into Los Angeles under the Lakers dynasty and expect to see some brightness. It doesn't work in your favor. It's just bad. And at this point, it's just it's all just embarrassing moments for this point for that team. And I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is really disappointing if you're a Clippers fan and you're just on that Clippers team, because come on, you up 22 with like 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Yeah,
you cannot blow a 22-point lead. Like, and it all happened like they blew it in like 5 minutes. It was held to 2 points. Like, it's a really, really embarrassing second half for the Clippers. When they started out strong and it was playing really well, and Paul George and Kawhi was both playing great basketball,
yeah,
and Ibaka as well. But then all that's just put to the side when you blow a 22-point lead.
yeah. And that's the reason I always saying this. It always harks back to the fact of it's not how you. It's not how is it. Even though it's equal as how you start a game, is more important than how you finish a game. And the way they finished was not what we expected, especially from a team this talented. Again, they probably won't be the same team as they were from last season, even though that was a disappointment. But they're still talented. They're still one of the best teams in the league. They're still one of the best two-way teams in the league. To finish out a game like this, in which you're not taking a W after being up by 22, it reached concern sometimes.
Yeah, and all jokes aside, it's getting less and less funny.
Exactly.
It's just getting more and more sad. I mean, come on, like if you just lost to this Warriors team, that's one thing. But it matters in the way and the manner that you lose.
Yeah.
And this is not the way or the manner that any team should ever lose.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's just disappointing to see from the Clippers' perspective. But as for the Warriors, what a great comeback, what a great team effort, and what a great win by them. Yeah. All right, let's go to the first game that happened from last night. Battle of the Brothers. Oh, LaMelo against Lonzo Ball. And sure, that was an interesting, little fun thing to look at. Two brothers of that caliber playing.
Yeah.
But as I said, I was more focused on the plays of Zion, B.I., and Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
And basically this game went, Pelicans they was getting more comfortable, and it looked like they had a comfortable lead. But man, that second half of the Hornets they just really just flipped the switch.
Yeah. Again, and that's their whole team's philosophy is just based on their young team. So they have a lot of energy. They have a lot of energy and feel, and they're getting better. It looked like this team is starting to look like a team that's well-rounded offensively in terms of playmaking, shot making, and just overall being an inside presence. You could see it. You just said it best. The Pelicans had a really comfortable lead. They came out the gates firing. It was almost like what we just talked about, the game that we just talked about, the Clippers versus the Warriors. The Clippers, how they had a comfortable lead. The Pelicans looked like they had a comfortable lead here also. And then all of a sudden the second half hit, and then the momentum just went the Hornets' way. And talking about the brothers, we know who had the better performance, of course. LaMelo. We're not gonna call him Melo for the respect of someone else. But
yeah, until that someone else retires, he's LaMelo right now.
Exactly. But he had the better performance, of course, but this whole team the whole team just had it going. The whole team just had it going, to be honest.
Yeah, the whole team had it going. And as you've been saying on this pod as recently, Gordon Hayward is really trying to earn every single penny that he got in that contract. We all doubted him. I'm still doubting that contract to this day. but yet he is still trying to prove me and many others wrong, and just prove to himself that yeah, I'm that good, and
Mhm.
I was that good. I just got hurt, and that's a little setback. And now I'm back on that,
Yeah,
and he's
maybe.
really been playing like that. He's
Yeah,
really been playing like that.
yeah, minor setback for a major come up, and he's trying to prove it. I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I know we had doubts and everything, especially you, and you still had doubts now. But let's be honest, he has put up some amazing performances so far in this young season. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
he's just been balling. He's been looking like Utah Jazz Gordon Hayward in a way at times.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a little less athletic and stuff, but like he's been balling. He still looks good. He looks like he's getting back into that rhythm and form.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. As for the rest of the Hornets team, I mean, everybody really like came to play. Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges had a big game off the bench.
Yeah,
As you mentioned, um, LaMelo did have a better, stat line and play than Lonzo. But if you look at how LaMelo played, he was one assist away from a triple double.
yeah, he was. He was
He
one of
was really, really doing it all and doing it all for the benefit of his team so that they can win.
yeah,
And I really like how he was playing. He really looked calm, no pressure. He was just letting the game come to him.
exactly.
And that's how he was playing. Devontae Graham also had a pretty good game, even though he's been playing really. It's been a rough start for him at the start of the season so far.
Yeah,
As for the Pelicans, I mean, yeah, I mean they had a. It looked like they was every time they try to keep running away. I guess it's like that every time they try to keep extending that lead,
mhm,
the Hornets will always stay in, and because the Hornets gave
yeah,
that opportunity of staying in the game. Once you
yeah,
just keep staying in the game, there's always opportunity for you to come back.
yeah. And the crazy thing is, I did not highlight this, but the fact that they couldn't buy a shot in those last moments of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like whenever they had an opportunity to score, it looked like they came close to score, and like it just like the basketball just didn't want to go into the hoop.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
then
mean,
you have
you can just look at the Zion
mhm,
the dunk that he had missed.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just a prime example of really how the second half of the Pelicans went, or mainly the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like
Wow. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go on. My bad.
every shot they was every shot they was taking, it just looked like it didn't went in. All the shots they usually make, easy shots,
Exactly.
open looks, it just didn't go for them.
Exactly. And you could say the opposite happened for the Hornets. Like wow, they couldn't buy a shot. The Hornets, whenever they shot, it went in. They like it just felt easy to them at that point. And I was just like, wow. Because it was just like it looked like the Pelicans kind of really still had this game if the
Hmm.
ball well just went in. But
Yeah, I mean,
hey,
it was up 10 in the fourth quarter.
yeah,
So yeah, but nonetheless, a big win against the Pelicans by the Hornets, and in this kind of weird Eastern Conference and them trying to find themselves. Let's see if this win can help them find themselves in their system. Well, all right, a lot of stuff happened around the association from last night. So, John, I'm pretty sure you have something that you want to go over. So, I'll let you speak.
well, two things. Just real quickly. Nets versus Grizzlies. Grizzlies edged out the win, but yeah, Karis LeVert had 40. And
Yep.
he's continuing to show why he's among one of the top elite scorers in the game right now, along with Tatum, Brown, Trey, all those guys. And the second thing I wanted to point out is the fact that the Pistons won.
Detroit basketball.
And you
Yep.
know who they beat?
My dark horse.
They
I mean,
beat the Phoenix Suns. Yes.
yeah. I mean, way to stick it to me. I've been talking, talking a lot of trash about the Pistons, and they
Mediocrity.
just come out there and they just ball out against the Suns.
Exactly.
It was a very shocking upset. I mean, I did not expect that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You want to know why? They were fueled off the fact that they switched to a zone defense. They switched to a zone defense, and they was able to take advantage of the Suns against that. The Suns could don't get me wrong. The Suns found ways to try to work around it offensively, but the Suns could not really capitalize much. And Detroit capitalized a lot on switching to his own defense. And then from the point it went into an overtime, Detroit just made all of their shots. They made all of their shots.
Speaking of that, you said the zone defense. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of teams have been switching to a zone defense, or at least half man, half zone kind of philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's been a thing for at least the past like year. I started to notice that, I guess, around with Miami in the regular season from last year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of teams are adapting this philosophy, I guess, because now with how the rules are and how the players are, man to man just ain't gonna do it.
Exactly.
The best way to stop somebody is zone in this modern age, in this day and age. So that's pretty interesting because I didn't think that a lot of teams would be playing zone like this, and I'm really surprised. I'm kind of happy that a lot of teams are adopting more of that zone
Well, yeah,
defense.
and this is all because the evolution of the game. Like, because the ones that came before us and the things that they had to go through, they implemented new rules in place, and as a result, you just can't play basketball naturally in a way. And I'm talking about in terms of defense. Like, you can't play basketball the way that you want to play it. So as a result, you have to strategize a team strategy defensively in order to help. And as a result, people are going to the zone defense because, refs like to blow that whistle all the time.
Yeah.
So as a result, they have to find something that will benefit them and help them in their long run term. So as a result, they switch up the game plan and they do these things and as long as communication, because you always said zone defense is based on communication. Most importantly, you get that common communication going, it helps out a lot.
Yep. I 100% agree with your point about zone defense and how it's helping teams. Real quick, to go back to the Pistons and the Suns game. Pistons have been playing terrible, like obviously not last night, but like in general. But Jeremy Grant has really been a bright spot for them. He's just been going insane for them. He's been a great piece and a good pickup, a good free agent signing for them, and it's really working for them. I guess when you're on a bad team, you get you play better, the point production goes up, but all jokes aside, yes, he has really been balling out, and
Nice.
and I've been watching, I've been noticing, so I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, if Detroit was winning, this could be his like an all-star caliber season. If
Yeah,
but Detroit's not winning.
like I make a joke about it, but yeah, that really is how it is. Once you're on a bad team, your point production can go up, especially when you're like been a role player.
Yeah,
like Jeremy Grant was in Denver from last year.
Yeah. But it's crazy because he's playing with Blake Griffin and D Rose, who are still really good talents.
I just feel like the Pistons need to find themselves.
Yeah,
they need to know what their system is. They need to know what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
The organization as a whole.
That is true.
Yeah. All right. What I want to talk about, I mean, there's a lot of things. You can basically say everything about every single game that happened. Yeah. Think about every single game that happened. I had watched let's go off with the defending champions. I watched the Lakers and the Bulls game, and the Bulls, the Bulls have been really competing.
Yeah,
they've been trying. They may not be better than certain teams, and they might not have their system in play, but they've really been competing and really been trying to get the best out of their players. I feel like Billy Donovan he's been a good pickup. He's been a good head coach for them so far. Of course, he just needs to develop those young players and find the system that works best for them. The Lakers had the lead. They almost blew the lead late in the fourth quarter again. But they was able to hang on. So I just wanted to talk about that real quickly. I believed in the Magic, and of course, they proved me right once again to not believe in them.
Also, Shaq left the team.
Huh?
Shaq left the team.
I guess so. I mean, this was a performance that I guess Akeem will be happy. I mean, like, this is worse than the 95 sweep. I picked the Magic. I believe in the Magic. And you say, you know what? We got you, Evan. We're going to lose by 42 tonight.
They just let you down the river.
Yeah, they didn't even get like dominated by one player. They stopped. I mean, geez, they couldn't stop nobody on the team.
It was just a well balanced offense that Rockets
Yeah, for
had.
the Rockets.
Yeah.
What else? You went over the Pistons and the Suns game. Uh, the Knicks, sadly, I mean, I'm a Knicks fan, so I have to bring it up. The Knicks sadly lost, so not much excitement for me. But I kind of expected this because the Thunder as well. They play really good and they play really well.
And they got a
Um,
in SGA.
yeah, and of course somehow of all games to have a good game, of course Hamidou Diallo had to pick this game against the Knicks to have a good game.
Well, he is from New York, so you got to respect it.
Yeah, so I guess that's why I mentioned that. I guess he wanted to show out. You know,
Now you really cut it.
I know. I'm just saying. Like of all games, I mean, obviously he's just been a role player. He's a role player for the Thunder, but he dropped I think 23, all coming off the bench against the Knicks, and he was a big bright spot for that win
Yeah.
against the Thunder because nobody saw him coming, so nobody was able to adjust to that his play.
Okay.
The Wizards, to a surprise to no one, suck. Bradley Beal once again has a great performance and they lose again, dropped 40 and they lost to the Celtics. And I know they're the Celtics, but it's like you cannot lose once you drop 40. And okay, as Bird dropped 40 and he lost. But the fact that Bradley Beal had dropped 60 the other night and they lost, and he dropped 40 again, and dropped 40 plus again, and he lose again, it's like
It's like nothing that it's out of his hand. Look, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna speak bad about anything like this. I'm gonna leave that all to you. I'm just gonna say this. I love and respect the fact of Bradley Beal's loyalty, regardless of what direction that organization is going through. Again, me and you talk about it both on and off the record here. We always talk about the fact that we don't see much loyal players anymore. The only one that we seeing right now is Dame and who else? Stephen
Giannis.
Curry, Giannis and Stephen Curry, and that's it. We don't see much people staying where they was drafted at or came into the league on that team as. Like, we don't see that anymore. So you got to respect the fact that Bradley Beal is sticking out for the long run, at least.
Yeah, but don't you feel like, because especially nowadays people talk about loyalty and not just loyalty from the players, loyalty both ways. Because, the team has to be loyal too. And
Yeah.
of course, if a player leaves and then you get attacked and all that, but if a team like trades them, then it's a different mindset.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like the team should be loyal to Bradley Beal as well? Like
they should, knowing his talent, they should be loyal to him and try to find some way. But it's just like I don't know much about that Washington. Like, ever since the Gilbert, like I'm not gonna say that because they had one of the best point guards, two-way point guards, who's now on the Rockets, and like even though they looked like they was making it far, they had a slip and they just never found it well. It's just like it's hard.
I know you had said off air you gave up on the Wizards.
Yeah, man. I like, it's just like, at this point, and like, it's no disrespect. I'm not saying anything. I'm not disrespecting Bill Westbrook or anything, but that team is just not ready yet. Let's just be honest. I thought that having just Westbrook and Bill would be enough, but I guess I was wrong. The team.
Yeah, like I mean you in a in an easier conference, even though the East hasn't sucked as they used to.
Yeah.
And the East has been actually pretty good for the past couple seasons. But in the easier conference with those two players, you would think that they'd be playing better. They're 2-7. Their defense is terrible, atrocious. Like they're giving up. If you haven't had a good offensive night, just wait until you play the Wizards. That'll be the game.
Exactly. Not for real, for real.
They give up at least like 115 plus points every single game. It's so bad watching them defensively. And sure, you have a great offensive team, but y'all don't have like an historically great offensive team to be having that terrible of a defense because you're not going to win games.
Exactly. And especially looking at the fact that this whole league is like offensively star-studded, it's just like, you can't just expect to just rely heavily offensively. Like most of these really good teams have it on both ends. They have a really great offense and a really good defense to back it up.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the Wizards. Let's just leave it at that for the Wizards because they just, it's so disappointing, especially a team with all that talent that they have.
Yeah.
They should not be playing like this.
Mm-hmm.
The Jazz had, I guess, bounced back from their 2 losses in New York, and they upset the Bucks, giving the Bucks their first home loss. That was a really good win and great play by Donovan Mitchell and the rest of the crew down there.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how they handled that. Coming back, they needed a bounce back game. You called it, so they needed a bounce back, and you thought they was gonna beat the Bucks. I just think that I didn't know if their bounce back was gonna come that game against the Bucks, a really good team.
Yeah.
But I guess the Jazz they gotta prove once again that they are a playoff team,
Yeah. Yeah.
having a playoff team, and they have playoff caliber players and a great system in place. So that was a really good win for the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
The Raptors won. I guess
Jurassic
we
Park.
leave it at that. With Kyle Lowry out being personal reasons, I guess that's the trend now.
Don't do that. Come on, man. Wait, I'll be back. I gotta go do the personal reasons.
Stop,
I'll
stop,
be-
stop, 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 stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's not. That's not. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Well, I don't know what the the person like. Come on, Laurie. Maybe you should be out personal reasons more, Laurie, because your team won.
Don't do that. Come on. Don't say he's the reason to why we win.
So yeah, I mean the Raptors go from a terrible record to
Yeah.
a just little bit less terrible record, 2-6. Yay! The
Well,
Toronto
yeah,
Raptors, everyone.
Well, yeah, they turned from just Barney to Barney land, I guess.
Of course, they beat the Kings of mediocrity, the Sacramento Kings. So no surprise there. Well, the Kings have a bright spot on their team, De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield. And of course, once you shine that bright light on them, that's when they fold. Just like the 2002 playoffs.
Oh, come on, man. Why bring that up? They got nothing to do with that time, except for the organization. They got the players have nothing to do with that time.
All right, you're right. But maybe they should learn how to pay the refs better. Maybe they would have won. Well, all right, nonetheless, all right. It's prediction time. You know how we do it, like usual, rapid fire, like we always do. First, starting off with the first primetime game that we'll be discussing for tonight's game, which features the Denver Nuggets and the 76ers, both coming off major losses on Thursday.
I got the Nuggets because Steph Curry's not playing.
You think he's that big of an impact? Even if he was playing, I think I got the Nuggets.
Yeah.
The Hawks or the Hornets?
Hawks.
Hawks as well. The Suns or the Pacers?
I got the Pacers with this one.
Yeah, I got the Pacers as well. The second primetime game we'll be talking about, which is the Miami Heat against the Wizards.
I got the Heat.
I got the Heat as well. Maybe they could prove me wrong. The Cavs or the Bucks?
Bucks.
Bucks. The Spurs or the Timberwolves?
Spurs.
Spurs. Magic or the Mavericks?
Mavericks.
Mavericks. And the Blazers or the Kings?
The Kings. Let me stop. Blazers.
I got the Blazers. Don't say let me stop because now they're gonna win. I got the Blazers as well. As mentioned, the two primetime games that we'll be discussing are the Nuggets, 76ers, and the Heat and the Wizards. All right, I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts on this episode, John?
Nah, it was real quick. I was gonna make a joke earlier talking about how you talk about how the fact of like the Clippers always thinking that how it's not funny anymore. I was gonna say it's almost like a joke that you repeat multiple times. It tends not to get funny anymore after a while. It just gets boring.
That's a great summary of just the Clippers' entire franchise, their entire existence. Just a joke that hasn't been funny. It stopped being funny. You might catch people here and there, with the joke,
Yeah.
But now it's just, damn, like stop repeating this joke, you know? Stop doing the same things.
Like, go through puberty already, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Oh man, Brian Dawkins, he's upset right now. Elton Brand, he upset right now. I mean, the Sixers are upset of you, Elton Brand, so you don't have to be worried about that. Uh, it's just, it's just embarrassing for the Clippers. Embarrassing. I guess we leave it off at that with the Clippers ineptitude. So for this podcast, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also, follow our IG down in the description below.
Mm-hmm. And once again, I am Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast.